You are listening to WPHM, Digital Broadcasting. The best in paranormal talk radio.
Reaching all the way back to 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition. Here is your host of Fate Radio, Kat Hobson.
Good evening and welcome to Fate Mag Radio. I am Kat Hobson, your host, and I have to tell you that tonight's show is going to be fantastic. I don't know who you're pulling for in the Super Bowl or if you even care, but I do want to say good luck and good health to both teams. I know who I would like to see win it, and you don't. And that's how that's going to stay. So I'm very excited. I have a girlfriend, she affectionately calls me Gal Pal, and I love it, who has written a book. She did a very good job with that book. It is called Unknown Objects, the Top 10 UFO Files, UFO Cases. I apologize, Jean. And please welcome Jean Broida to Fate Magazine Radio. Hello there.
Hi, Kat. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine as frog's hair.
All right, that's pretty
mighty fine. That's mighty fine.
Yes,
if you've ever actually looked at a frog close up, which I actually have.
Right? Me too.
You haven't lived until you've seen a frog close up, really.
Or the inside of one. That was something disconcerting for me.
Frogs' legs are a delicacy. And I taught
It was
camp,
science,
believe
yes.
it or not, where we had dissection. Oh boy, you haven't lived until you've taught 10 to 12-year-olds how to dissect frogs, and then also squids. Oh, that was interesting with the ink sac.
The squids did not bother me.
No,
other than people directing them at other people. But definitely the frogs were interesting.
Well, you know, just about anything can be weaponized, can't it? Even a squid. Even a squid. But what was interesting with these kids who were 10 to 12 years old, and in one case in particular, there were siblings, sisters. The younger sister was all hands-on and on deck. She was right down there with anybody else with a dissection knife and a keen interest in what goes on inside a squid. Her sister was cowering against the wall with other girly girls and a few girly boys, but there weren't too many girly boys. And there was a lot of animation and squealing and, all around general curiosity to revulsion, I would say. It's very interesting for people who've never done biology, and I never did a lot. I did physics. The psychological schism, you know, the repulsion versus the fascination.
And they're actually not that far apart. I found with my own experience in both, because I was so inquisitive, I was excited to see what the interior looked like, but I didn't like the goo. So I had a dilemma, and the curiosity won. Which is always a good thing.
I have to say, all of a sudden, the quality of our call has degraded.
Well, I hear you beautifully. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. And we're hardwired, so we should be fine too.
Oh, good. I'll keep talking.
Yes. Well, I tell you what, you just keep on talking.
I'm good to go.
And Okay.
Good to go. Yes, I love science and also the occult, as you know, and I know you love the occult as well.
I love everything about it. And I
Are
am
we good?
seeing that we may actually be having a poor connection, and I'm not sure why. I'm going to do an alternate. And should I lose you, I will come right back and get you. There's no sense in anybody missing what you're putting out there. So just kind of bear with me a moment, and we will get things cranked up. And for those of you who are listening, I have no idea why there's an issue with the Wi-Fi when you're hardwired, but we're going to get it resolved. And I'm just going to talk to you because I am not watching the Super Bowl. I don't even have it on because I was afraid it would be a distraction. So if you want to maybe post in chat a score here or there, just whatever seems to be your color Kool-Aid, that would be fine too. I know that a lot of people are traveling for things, and I want to, while I'm getting this set up, put the word out to Denise Pridemore, who is the host of the Paranormal Pride, that we love her and we are praying for her and her family. They have suffered a great loss. It's their second one in 11 days. And it's really just not the best situation at all, obviously. So if you could just pray for them, send them positive thoughts and vibrations, whatever it is that you learned.
I know.
That you can tether. Yes. Yes.
Well, I've had a computer upgrade here, or so-called. An upgrade is always a double-edged sword.
True that.
My computer wouldn't power up, so I got another one because I figure if it doesn't power up, other components are just as old and going to be failing. And
Truth.
Rather than isolate where exactly the problem was, just change it out before the disk failed. And that worked, so I got all my files off of it.
Hooray.
And that's always a good thing, yes. So life can go on. I didn't get my bookmarks, though, my browser bookmarks, and that's a telling blow. But you know what? I'll suffer through.
Well, if that's all you lost, I would say more power to you with that.
My life is good.
Yes.
I get complaints. And it's a thrill to be here. Thank you for having me on Super Bowl Sunday.
You are welcome for being had on Super Bowl Sunday, as it were. I am so glad. I know that there's a lot of emotion tied to Super Bowl Sunday, mainly because it's a great day to have a reason for a party. But also, people are very tied to the teams that they like. And I think that it's a societal thing. It's so fun to watch. I don't have a dog in this fight, as it were. None of my regional teams are there. But I like to watch people's reactions to this. As you said, one of your friends went to miss the crowds, anticipating that there was going to be quite a rush for, I'm assuming, the right kind of beer and chips and hot dogs.
Chips, yes.
Chips,
and snacks.
Okay.
Yes. This person doesn't happen to drink beer, but that's cranberry juice, whatever,
Well, you need the ocean spray. So, I go with that. And yes, that was an endorsement for ocean spray cranberry juice.
I'm sure you'll be getting a check in the mail.
Oh, probably not, but that's okay. I love the stuff. But, well, I want to talk about you. You have had some very, very big doings lately.
This is true. This is very true. It all started when I wrote a book on UFOs, unknown objects, the top 10 U.S. UFO cases. And it's meant to be provocative. How come these are the top 10 cases? What about this other case over here? And I'm good with all of that because people are talking about the topic. That's my goal. Get people talking about what's up with what's up in the sky. So many reported sightings if you're tuned to that frequency. But just like stock market reads, stock market charts. If you're not tuned to that frequency, if you don't visit a finance website or subscribe to a service that reports all this stuff on a basically by the minute basis, because everything's changing while the market's open, if you're not tuned to that frequency, you're probably going to miss it. Life is limited, how much time we have to pay attention to other things other than basic survival and getting by. That time is limited. So we understand that. And some people would much rather engross themselves in the Super Bowl than spend a couple hours knocking a paranormal ball around the field. So we're exceptional. Anyone here now, especially. But as you said, people in the future will be downloading and listening to this scintillating conversation. And since I published my book, which was in paperback in November, actually just before Halloween, so late October, I've been on radio shows like your excellent show. Thank you so much. And now I'm booking presentations, and I'll be whipping up a presentation on crop circles, one of my really passionate subject I'm passionate about. And there's a lot of mystery to it, real mystery to it. A lot of theory and debate about it. Is it even linked to UFOs? That's one thing I'll be exploring. But in about a month, I'll be presenting for the Northern California chapters of MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network. And that'll be way fun because it's going to be not only some remarks about what the state of crop circle research is today. About half of the presentation will be that, but then another quarter of the presentation will be a meditative crop circle immersion, a spirit journey, basically, instead of listening with the front brain and being analytical like I'm doing right now. Go all subjective, go all subconscious, and have beautiful meditation music with permission, of course. And I've gotten permission to use crop circle photographs from the excellent Alexander Temporary Temples Crop Circle Gallery, which has been going for 25 years or 24 years. These people are serious, dedicated British reporters and researchers, and having their sanction to do a slideshow, basically, with meditative music to see where people's consciousnesses go. That's what it's about. It's such an endorsement, and I want to promote them as much as possible because it's through their great grace that we can collaborate to raise some consciousness about some of the very little physical evidence that something really weird is going on, whether it actually relates to UFOs or not, unexplained. And the idea that it's all human hoaxers is bunk. That is in of itself. Certainly, some are made by humans, but not nearly all.
I would agree with that. I've seen the research.
Those are the cases that are interesting. And to a crop circle metaphysical and physical researcher, that's what we mean when we talk about crop circles. We're not really talking about the faked ones. We understand that there's going to be faked ones out there. And when you're not on the scene, it's hard to tell. Were the stalks bent over and snapped, like from a plank supported by two ropes, and you're pushing down on it with a foot? Or were they heated, perhaps by some sort of microwave or similar radiation force, and spiraled and twisted and braided sometimes, and often ringed counterclockwise directions? So twisted in a clockwise direction in a ring, and then crop twisted in the opposite direction, counterclockwise, in a next ring inside, an interior ring, and this alteration of direction of force. This is any of this could be replicated by humans, I suppose, but it gets deep fast, and then there's the microwave effect of the heating with swollen nodes that pop like popcorn. This is very hard to explain when you get a circle that's quarter mile or larger, and some of the braiding of crop circles goes on a mile long, according to Patty Greer, who has filmed 7, 8 award-winning crop circle films. So I'm getting back into that. It's exciting.
Well, that is also research that's been done by Nancy Talbot of BLT Research. And I just love when scientists work together and aren't afraid to share